guys, it's PonkyPlays. Welcome to our Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I'm going to be going over Sigmund's kit and giving you guys my take on a potential theoretical buff that I would give him and seeing what you guys think of my potential buff, right? He's definitely somebody that I feel could use a buff. His kit right now is not too bad, but it's also not that crazy strong. But either way, let's go ahead and go through his kit. So as he is right now, he attacks an enemy, he removes any shield buffs, also has a 50 going up to 75% chance of removing one random buff, and 100% chance instead when attacking bosses. I do like this ability. I wish that it was 100% regardless of whether it was bosses or not, but it's not a bad skill at all, especially like early on in the game, which I know at one point, I don't know if he still is, he was available as one of the promo codes you can use for a starter champion. And being able to have this for like some of the potion keeps, pretty nice. But again, that's very early game. His A2 is an AoE attack. It goes down to a 3-turn cooldown when booked, and he attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 75% chance when booked of placing a provoke debuff for a turn, and then a 100% chance when booked of placing decreased attack for 2 turns. A pretty decent skill, even though it's 75% chance of provoke. Because it's a double hitter, it is pretty likely to land. It's a decent skill. I do feel like it could use a little bit more love, but it's definitely not the worst skill, especially provoke skill for a legendary. And then his A3, he places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP, and then also a 25% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns, and that's on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Very nice, strong buffs. There are a few champions that do these 2 buffs plus a few more stuff, like Mithrala and Marishka, which both of them are void champions, but still, I feel like this could do a little bit more as well. It's crazy how, like, back in the day, this was super solid, and now anymore, it feels a little lackluster. Like, the power crept in the game has gone pretty insane. And then his passive, whenever his attack, has a 20% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs on the attacker by a turn, and a 40% chance instead when attacked by a boss. It's okay, but kind of weak when you compare it to somebody like Harvest Jack, that is pretty much the same skill, except he's got a 100% chance of decreasing the duration of the buffs, regardless of whether they're bosses or not, and he can give your allies a chance of doing it as well. So definitely could use a little bit of a rework there too. And then he's got ally defense in Doom Tower battles by 40%. It's a nice, big ally defense increase for Doom Tower, but there's so much content out there that having it specifically for Doom Tower feels a little restricted. His reviews seem a little on the not super crazy side. I feel like he's better than what the reviews give him credit for, but I do understand where they're coming from. Especially, he's probably still good up to like mid game, but past that, I feel like you're just gonna get a lot better. Especially, comparing him to like Mithrala, which you can get pretty early. It makes him a little, underwhelming in that sense. So let's go ahead and go through what I would do if I was to buff him. So for his A1, I said, attacks an enemy, removes any shield buffs, also has a 100% chance of removing one random buff. This attack cannot be a weak hit against bosses. So he's 100% chance able to remove another random buff against anyone regardless, but then against bosses he can't weak hit, which means it's gonna guarantee the removal of the buffs, and that'll also be really good against bosses like the Phantom Shogun, where he puts the pretty sure it's the enfeeble debuff on your champions. But because he won't be able to weak hit against bosses, that makes him really good with his A1. I feel like that's a pretty solid change. He does decent damage, not anything crazy, but his kit doesn't read as a I'm gonna be the main damage dealer at all, so I don't think he should have damage increments. So yeah, for his A2, I went ahead and said attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 100% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn and a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. And then I added increases the value of shield buffs on all allies by 5% for each hit landed on an enemy with this skill. So I figured he is the Highshield. His lore talks about how he's the Baron of the Highshield Bannerlords. His shield is like this mythical shield that goes down through generations for that Bannerlord faction, I guess, or house, whatever it is. So I figured he should have a little bit more play with the shield buff. There's not very many champions that do shield value increase, so I figured giving him that ability would be really good, and it fits really well with the Bannerlords in general. So that would be a really, really nice way to amp up this skill, and then also just having a 100% chance of landing the provoke with each hit. There's no reason he shouldn't be able to, and then that also means that if he weak hits with one of them, he'll potentially still be able to land the provoke because he's double hitting, so it's less likely for one of those hits to, also be a weak hit, but, you never know. At least it's more guaranteed, which I feel like would be pretty nice. And then for his A3, I went ahead and said, places a protected shield buff on all allies for 3 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. Also places a 25% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. So the strengthen won't be protected, but the shield buff will, and it'll be for 3 turns, so it'll last the entirety of the turn as long as it doesn't get, destroyed through damage. And then I also added a passive effect, which is what I think will make this skill really nice. Allies under a shield placed by this skill are immune to sleep, provoke, stun, fear, true fear, and petrification debuffs. So again, might sound a little crazy. It's only against control debuffs. And it's only shield buffs placed by that skill. Again, shields can be broken through damage, so it's not like it's something that will just make the immunity super, OP and whatnot. Because he's not cleansing with anything, he's vulnerable to block buffs as well, so having a champion that can do that will make this not activate. But I feel like having your allies immune to the control debuffs as long as they're under his shield will definitely add that little bit extra strength to his kit. And that obviously includes himself, so as long as he's under his own shield, he'll be immune to any control debuffs, which will be really nice. And then for his passive, I went ahead and changed it to whenever this champion is attacked, has a 100% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs on the attacker by a turn. And then I added, because it'll be a 100% chance regardless, I went ahead and added whenever this champion or an ally is attacked by a boss, has a 50% chance of increasing the duration of all buffs on them by a turn. That way he still has that play on with bosses. It has a chance of increasing the duration of buffs, which is really, really nice. I feel like that'll definitely add to his kit, make him a lot stronger, especially because he seems like he wants to be kind of a good boss champion. That'll definitely make him a good pick on any boss stage. So I figured it'd be pretty nice. I guess the percentage could be lowered if you guys think it's a little too strong, but a 50-50 chance of being able to increase the duration of buffs whenever the champion or the him or the allies are attacked sounds pretty nice. And then for his aura, I went ahead and just changed it to a 33% defense in all battles. That way you can use him in, you know, any area, be it Grim Forest, being Curse City, you know, dungeons, anywhere. Makes him a lot more viable against all the bosses in the game. Yeah, I figured that would just make him be a really good pick anywhere in the game. But that is what I went ahead and gave him. Let me know what you guys think of the potential buffs I planned for him. Is there anything you would change? There are some things where I wasn't sure, like the 5% shield increase per hit, or per hit landed on an enemy might be a bit much. I'm not sure how that balances. Again, there's not a whole lot of buff increase or shield value increase on champions, so it's hard to, you know, kind of compare and see what would be a good amount to increase. But I definitely feel like he should be somebody that is increasing the value of shields on allies, because it's kind of like his whole, you know, motive is having shields, and he's the Baron of the Highshields, and it just makes sense for him to have a lot more shield play. But that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy the, you know, theoretical buffs I gave him. Let me know if you guys want to see anybody specific for me to go over. If not, I'll just continue on with the next Bannerlord, which will be Ronda Rousey. So if you guys are looking forward to that, stay tuned, because I plan on making that video hopefully soon. But I'll leave you guys at that. So until the next video, guys, take care.